Hey everybody, and welcome to Chairman of the Board. Today I'm taking a look at Knights of the Round Table, which is the new expansion to the game Merlin, which is a game I absolutely adore. Now this game introduces unique player powers. So what you're going to get is you're going to get these 12 knights, all with unique powers, and a bunch of tokens that go onto them, but I've been lazy and haven't set them up properly. So you've got two sets of knights here. You've got knights with A on the back and knights with B on the back. Now this is only important during setup because you can basically choose to use a kind of drafting mechanism where the first player will start with a bunch of tiles, the second player will start with a bunch of tiles, and you draft passing them down the line. So every player is going to have two knights or two helpers throughout the game. You can also just choose to deal these out randomly. So let's go through the different types of knights we have here. So first off, we have Sir Tristram, who basically, you get 6 tokens with these dice symbols on like this. So they'll go on here like this, and throughout the game you can choose to spend them, and they can either choose to add 2 or take away 2 from a dice of your choice. And that cannot exceed 6, and it cannot go below 1. So that's Sir Tristram. Sir Galahad. So each time the player claims 1 shield, 1 flag, or 1 piece of construction material from any principality, they can choose to discard one of these tiles and swap it for another one of that type. So you can swap a certain flag for another flag. Sir Lamorak, basically what he does is when the player performs the action of a principality space or of the henchman influence space, they may place the henchman from that principality on the same spot again. So normally you have to basically move a knight from your player board or from another principality. This one you can use the same one again even if he's already there. Now that's kind of a passive ability, and it's there's no limit to the amount of times you can use it. You've got Sir Boris here, where you can basically choose to spend or get rid of one of your dice by discarding one of these tokens. And basically you move or you teleport to any principality on the board and activate that space. So a nice one to get around and maybe defend from invaders and stuff like that. So quite a good one, that one actually. You've got Sir Gawain, who I think is probably my favourite one. You get 3 of these tokens, so to spend throughout the game. And what that lets you do is it lets you basically have an apple, or the equivalent of an apple, for your black or white dice. So that's for the Arthur expansion or for Merlin. And that lets you choose the value of the dice. So complete control over that one. So basically an apple for the black and white dice. So yeah, quite powerful. This one here, Sir Lancelot. Basically what you do with this one is you place this little standee on one of the principalities. And whenever you take the action of that space by placing one of your henchmen down, you get the reward twice. So yeah, another strong one there. Now let's take a look at the B characters. So this one here, Sir Gaheris, or Gaheris, whatever they call it. You get 2 of these kind of stronghold tokens, and they are used on the environs board. And now they count for 2 strength. So yeah, they're quite powerful in respects of area control, and also they, if you land on one of the spots with the towers on, you get the reward twice, and you get to do that twice throughout the game. So yeah, a good way to dominate the area control there. This one here is Sir Gareth. Now Sir Gareth is pretty cool because I think he's actually one of my favourite ones as well. So for each different colour type of knight you repel, you get one of these tokens on. So it's almost, oh, sorry, wrong token. You get one of these tokens on, like this. And then if you have the whole set of 6, or if you've repelled all different 6 types of invaders, then you get 12 points. So it's almost like a set collection style mechanism, where the more different types of knights you repel, you get more points. Sir Bedivere, he increases your hand size by 2. So you're going to be carrying 6 mission cards at a time, which gives you a lot of flexibility actually. And you get 6 of these little tokens, like this. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Anyway, they look like that. And basically what that lets you do is it lets you swap one of your cards for one on the open display. So again, more flexibility and more focus around the mission cards. Then we have Sir Percival. Basically, what he does is he lets you, when you resolve a mission card, he lets you exchange one color tile in order to change the color of one of the requirements. So I assume, well, what it means is if your mission card needed a red flag, you can cash in one of those and change it to a black flag. So again, a lot of manipulation there to try and focus on the mission cards. You've got Sir K, and what Sir K does is each time the player places one of their influence counters on a principality, they can add one of their influence tiles. The player retrieves those tiles only after the next influence scoring. So during the influence scoring, each influence tile counts as an additional influence counter of that player. So basically, it kind of increases your influence in the different regions. A bit more confusing, that one. And finally, we've got Sir Geraint. So after the player has scored a certain victory point space for the first time, they put the corresponding ally tile on Sir Geraint. Additionally, the player gains 1 victory point. So at the end of the game, the player scores additional victory points on the number of ally tiles on Sir Geraint. So what that means is, say I did the, let's see if I can find one of the tiles here. There you go. So say I did this one here, which means for every province I have down on the environs board, not only would I get a point, but it also, again, much like the flag one, it works as a set collection aspect for not only obviously the environs one, but it also be for the flags and for the shields. And if you kind of score all those different ones throughout the game, you get an additional 10 points at the end, which could be quite significant. So yeah, that concludes all the 12 different knights, the allies you can have. I quite like that you have 2. Gives you quite a bit to think about. Again, it's a game that I really enjoy anyway, and this just adds another layer to it, a bit more to think about, a little drafting aspect to try and fight over the characters you want, or again, you can just go a lucky dip and see which ones you end up with. But yeah, something you can choose to add in. I probably wouldn't do it every turn or every game, but yeah, I'll definitely be using it. And yeah, I think I'll enjoy it. So that's Knights of the Round Table, the new expansion for Merlin by Stefan Feld and Michael Renick. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. See you later.